loves, welcome to Mariah's Beauty Corner. Today's video is going to be on my collection of e.l.f. brushes. e.l.f. stands for Eyes, Lips, Face, and it is a really good drugstore brand. They have everything from brushes all the way up to skincare products now. And I want to show you my collection of e.l.f. makeup brushes because I want the takeaway of this video to be that you don't always have to go on the higher end of the spectrum when it comes to any of your makeup needs. e.l.f. has some really great brushes. I have brushes from the Studio line as well as the Essentials line. The Essentials line has the $1 to $2 range of products, and the Studio line has the $3 and up. For the brushes, the Studio line brushes cost $3 and the Essential line brushes cost $1. I'm going to jump right into the Studio line first because that's where the majority of my e.l.f. brushes are from. The first one I want to show you is the e.l.f. blush brush. And the Studio line brushes, they are all black with white writing. And that's what it looks like. And I use this brush to apply my highlighting powder to my forehead, under my eyes, and the center of my chin. It is really good for just sweeping the product on before you let it bake. Next brush I have is the flat contour brush. It's really nice, slendered, bristled brush, which is really good for carving out your cheekbones, your jawline, as well as contouring your forehead. Next up, I have the e.l.f. small stipple brush, and I use this brush to blend my makeup products together. Say for instance, my blush and my contour. It blends it in really nicely without me having to put in that much effort, since it is a stippled brush. Not too dense, gives you a nice airbrushed finish, so that's what I use this one for. Then this next brush, I actually have two of the same brush, and this is the Total Face brush because you can honestly use this for a multitude of different options. The first one I use to apply my liquid foundation. It blends it out really nicely and gives me a really seamless, flawless canvas to apply the rest of my makeup to. And then I also use it to set my foundation with my setting powder for the exact same reason. Blends it in really nice, leaves my skin looking nice and soft. So I love the Total Face brush. I think this is my favorite brush from the Essentials line besides the contour brush. Next up is the pointed foundation brush. And that's what it looks like. Really nice, comes up to a nice tapered point. And I use this to apply my highlight to the tops of my cheekbones. Since it has this pointed tip, that makes it really easy to apply precisely where I want the highlight to go. And then the last two brushes from the Studio line are eye brushes. The first one is the e.l.f. contour brush, and this is really good for crease work. See how dense and short the bristles are? It's really good for applying that color in your crease or to the outer V of your eye and blending it in. And the last one is the angled eyeliner brush, and this dent right here that gives it the bend works very well for applying winged liner. It is great for that. So if you have trouble applying winged liner, you can use this with a gel eyeliner or a powder, and it should help you out very well. Moving on to the Essentials line. The Essentials line features white brushes with silver details and black writing. This first brush is the blush brush, and it's really good for applying blush. Nice, rounded, kind of flared out design. It's really good for concentrating that color on the apples of your cheeks and blending it up and out. Next up is the e.l.f. flat foundation brush, and this is another brush that I use to apply my highlight because it is slightly rounded at the top. That makes it good for hitting the cheekbones right here and blending it up. The rest of the brushes that I have from the Essentials line are eye brushes. This first brush is the Professional Eye Crease Brush, and this is what it looks like. It's short, dense dome brush, and I like to use this to blend out my eyeshadow primer. Since I interchange between short and long nails, I prefer the long nails. I can't really do a lot with my fingers in terms of blending things out when I'm applying my makeup, so I like to use this brush for blending out my eyeshadow primer. It's really good for that. And the next brush is the Blending Eye Brush. That's what it looks like. And it's just a taller version of the eye crease brush. And I like to use the blending brush to set my eyeshadow primer. Next brush I have is the Professional Eyeshadow Brush, just a flat shader brush. Everybody needs this. I like how wide it is because I put the eyeshadow on here and I just sweep from left to right, and it applies a nice even layer of color to my eyelid. The next brush I have is the Defining Eye Brush. It's like a semi-fluffy angled brush, a little too thick to do eyeliner with, but what I like to do is apply color right here in between the crease and the lid. It is great for getting in that tiny portion of the eye. Next up, I have the Defining Eye Brush. This is also an angled brush. This would be a little bit better for applying eyeliner, but what I used this for was when I used to use gel pomade in my eyebrows. I used to use this because it evenly distributes the color. So that's good for doing your eyebrows. And the last brush I have to show you is the Smudge Eye Sponge. And I find this really good for packing on color in the outer V of my eye. It is a little bit rough, so trying to smudge out shadow under the lower lash line or at the top if you're trying to go for a smoky look, I wouldn't really use it for that because I find that it tugs at my eyelids quite a lot. So I just use this for packing on color to the outer V of my eye. This is the only thing that I use this brush for. Alright, that is all of my e.l.f. brushes. I hope you all enjoyed. Drop a comment down below telling me what you thought. Have you heard of e.l.f.? Do you like e.l.f.? Do you have a favorite brush from any line by e.l.f.? I would love to know that. So until next time, I'll talk to you later. Bye!